And processing everything that happened yesterday will continue long into the future. It was so chaotic. It's a great time to bring in our resident therapist, Jen Tomko from Clarity Health Solutions, to talk about this, how to deal with all of these feelings. Jen, it really stirs up so much. So many of us are feeling anxious, seeing the images from yesterday. How should we process everything that's going on?
First, I want to validate that experience. Feeling anxious is a very appropriate feeling right now, and sometimes that looks like anger or depression, but a lot of times it's really anxiety. But I want us to recognize that we have that lens on today for those of us who might be struggling. And when we have the anxious lens on, we're only going to be tunnel vision to catastrophic things. So we're always going to see the worst in things, the way our brain's trying to protect us. So I want us to just do a quick gut check, see how we're feeling, make sure that we're managing those experiences. This is miles and miles away, but it feels like it's in our backyard. We all want to jump in and do something. So we need to find ways of empowering ourselves today through self-care. So maybe sit down and do a gratitude list, or take a deep breath, or meditate, or talk to a friend. Do something to keep us feeling more control over something that we're powerless over.
Such a good point, Jen. These little things can make a big difference. To your point, too, we can be far away from D.C., from where this all unfolded, but still a lot of people say their sense of security has been breached by seeing these dangerous events in, what we think of as a secure area. Can something like this, really affect your sense of safety?
Absolutely. A lot of people look at these buildings as being, sacred in the way of absolutely secure. And so some people are getting their PTSD triggered, especially considering I am a trauma specialist. So I'm always going to be thinking about the trauma aspect of it. But, people automatically go back to 9/11 and how there was a direct, correlation between what was going on and these types of buildings. So, yeah, I think that what we need to do is manage that is label it as maybe being a triggered response, but also, if you're feeling that your anxiety level is getting really high, it may be a good idea to check how much immersion you're doing. So again, when we're anxious, we want to get more and more information so that we're empowered. But if our anxiety level is going up too high, we may need to take a break from the immersion and then check back in with what's going on the TV. So we want to be educated, but we also need to check our emotions. So tune in periodically instead of spending your whole day in front of the TV.
Jen, talk to me about mob mentality.
Mob mentality, there's theories and statistics around it. So basically, we all share energy. And when a group of people gets together, then there is a special energy that happens that can be great for things like concerts and things. But in protest and other aspects, if there's a dynamic shift that enters that group, then the whole dynamics change. So we have to be very careful about recognizing what energy we are putting off. So let's bring it back down to the level in which we have control today, because we have no control over what happened yesterday. But today we have the control of putting out the right energy of, I'm going to do my best to focus on what's important, what I have control over, and even spreading positivity if possible. This is a great time to focus on doing little acts of kindness.
Jen, such important perspective from you today after a day like yesterday, because on some level we are all affected by this. Jen, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
All right, let's send it over to Lauren now. Check out the forecast.
Ashley, thanks. And hey, it's not a bad